Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, really different. We're using whatever equipment we have to try and bring you a show today. Hi, Neil. How are you? Da 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 da. This keyboard's in my way. Keyboard, you're in my way. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Good morning. Good morning. I'm good. I think I'm good. I think I'm good. I can't hear myself in my monitor, but anyway, you guys can hear me and that's all I really care about. I can hear me. I mean because I'm talking and then my voice comes out and then I can hear it. Anyway, mini Fridays, mini Fridays. I just didn't want to overcommit, Jane. That's what it was. Mini Fridays. Yes, and we're gonna have a trivia show tonight. Anyway, good morning. Oh my gosh, it's so nice to see everyone. Oh my goodness. Oh, well, I didn't find my keys yet, but I didn't find my keys or my wallet, which are attached, by the way, which is why they're missing. But my beautiful landlord brought me so I can leave the house. Oh my God, I can leave the house. Cinnamon rolls. I love Grace Lisa. I love cinnamon rolls. I love a good cinnamon roll. We need a good brunch. You know what? That's what the lounge needs. The lounge needs brunch. Yes, now for some reason we have all of our like handles there. Good morning, Meowing Star. Good morning, Neil and Badger and Jane and Karen and Scott and Grace Lisa and Easily Distracted is here too. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. It's your Friday show. It's a Friday show. It's a Friday show. I hope it's your Friday. It's not my Friday, but I hope it's your Friday. Yeah. Yeah, Fridays. Yeah. Anyway, good morning. I got a new shirt. It says Bella Ciao. Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao. So go to Etsy and get your resistance t-shirts. Send the message to your neighbors that you believe in freedom and democracy. And buy a shirt from a local artisan. Do good while doing good. Yesterday's shirt had a big hole in it. Your shirt or my shirt? Did my shirt have a hole in it? Oh my God, it might have. Oh, my shirt had a hole in it. No, yesterday's shirt was actually just a sweatshirt that is a crop sweatshirt. Oh, so it's good for me because I don't get too hot. It didn't have a hole. I had a sports bra on, and then it had a thing. But anyway, and yeah, you're right. It did have a big hole in it. You're right. In fact, it was missing a whole lot of fabric. That's really what it was. Let's see. So I hope these microphones. I thought this microphone. I have Wonder Woman punching out Trump. I love that. I love that. That I remember when you got that shirt easily. I freaking love that shirt. Oh my God, I hadn't thought about that in a while. That's right. Remember when we were young and hopeful and we thought that maybe democracy would be saved? Remember that? I remember those days. Remember when we were all like fresh-eyed and I wasn't sure. Yeah, sure. Uh-huh. I like those. I like those little crop sweatshirts because they actually just keep you warm but not too warm. Hi. Hi, Kim. How are you? Good to see you. You want to see that shirt? You want to? Yes. Easley's shirt. I know. Easily. Did you ever send a picture of that or anything? I can't remember, but and not that I'm going to share any pictures you've sent me, but did you see that Dump canceled? Yes, we're going to talk about the cancellation of trade talks with Canada. Girl, you're in trouble. Okay, Canada, what's wrong with you? Oh, you never sent picture. Okay. For some reason, I seem to remember a graphic, but don't send a picture. You don't have to send a picture. Usually the president ages quickly in the office, but this time the normies are aging. Exactly. We're all like completely we've served the 4 years in the 9 months that this president has been seated. um, really good space with Jim and Gal and Jay Rants et al. Last night, which I really enjoyed. Where is Haggard here? Wait, where's Haggard? Oh, we're Haggard. I thought you meant our Haggard, the guy who's nicknamed Haggard. Yeah, we're all like worn out. Like yeah, I need more makeup. I need more makeup now than I did 10 months ago. That's a problem. I need more makeup now to hide the crying eyes that I have all night long. Hmm. Well, good morning. Good morning. I'm Lolo. Welcome to Wake and Bake with Lolo. And this is Friday, so I'm not sure what we're going to do. I didn't really plan. Oh, actually, that's not true. I have a shit ton of stuff. Remember the stuff that we didn't read the other days this week? So I definitely have that. And we're on a Letitia watch. So let me tell you. Let me show you what's happening outside the court where Letitia James is about to appear for her appearance, I guess, in the scam case, in the weaponization that is this administration. This administration is making her appear in court. Trump didn't like Doug Ford's latest ad. What? Oh, is that why he canceled everything? That's surprising. Oh. Yeah, what was he mad about? Wait, I gotta pull up what he was mad about because I really don't remember. I was like looking at it like, why did he call him off? What did they do? Carney, what'd you do? What'd you do, Carney? Come on now. Okay, here we go. I'll read you a story. Hold on. Do 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 bump bump. Yeah. Let's move this up above that, and then I'll read to you why. And I wonder why. And I wonder. Okay, Trump says he's ending trade negotiations with Canada. Canada, we are leaving you unread. That's what we're doing. Okay, we're leaving you unread. Deal with it. Hi, Lee. How are you? Happy Friday. Hi, Carrie. Hi, Carrie. So good to see you. Happy Friday. Yeah, 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 yeah. Bump, 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 bump. So let's see. What was I gonna say? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna read this. Oh, can I tell you my Letitia James story? Because I have a Letitia James story. So when I was working in anti-trafficking work in Washington, D.C., we had a wonderful partnership with the uh, there's a church in Brooklyn which was part of the Underground Railroad and a very noted location in the abolition movement of the Civil War era. Province of Ontario. Oh, looks like YouTube is using funny handles again. I know it's using just your whatever your handle is. I asked my kiddo who's sports betting who will win in the series, and he said LA Trader. Okay, so that's an interesting thing because I did hear uh, uh, fireworks outside my house last night. So did somebody win something? That's what I thought might have happened. Did the Dodgers win something? Is it the Dodgers that are playing right now? Dodgers. Dodgers. What are they doing something? Oh, versus the Toronto Blue Jays. Well, I'm rooting for the Jays. I'm gonna be honest with you right now because I'm a Giants fan. I fucking hate the Dodgers. And that's about it. Oh, so game one is today at 5 p.m. Oh, I'm gonna watch this. I'm gonna watch that. That's for sure. At 5 p.m. Oh no, I'm not. I'm not gonna watch it today because we're gonna have our beautiful trivia session. So I'm not gonna watch it. Oh, are you guys gonna be bummed that you're missing the World Series? Is this the World Series? No. Yeah? Is this the World Series? World Series, yeah. I didn't know that the Dodgers were going to the World Series. I didn't know the Dodgers were going to the World Series. Oh my God, what a horrible Los Angelino I am. And what a horrible Angelino I am. And that's why I have two TVs, one for sports, one for Lolo. Fuck yeah. Neil, I love you. Here we go. Lee's coming in hot. I am still watching for a sectoral agreement, or is it sectoral? With Canada on metals and energy after a few people whisper in his ear this morning. Lots of business pressure for tariff relief. Oh, okay. Well, let's talk about that, Lee. Let's talk about why there might be pressure to end the tariff regime. Because they really are like completely uh going to ruin the world economy. But we kind of knew that, didn't we? Didn't we know that? I think we knew that. I can tell you the score before the game starts. Thank you. Wow. It's the start of the series. Oh, okay. Well, that's why they were all blowing things up last night outside my house, outside my apartment building. Which industry do you want to start with? AG, auto energy? Oh, girl. I hesitate to ask you to come on and do a show because you're so busy and you work so hard, and the last thing I want to do, I'm being totally honest right now. The last thing I want to do is make you talk about work like on air and stuff like that. But I'm going to tell you right now, my dream, Lee, is that I come up with some good questions, first of all, and then you are able to come on and we do our thing and talk about tariffs. So I am totally willing. I am so down to do that, but I'm so uh, concerned about the use of your time. I'm going to be honest. That's really what I want it to be, a good use of your time. And I want the Friday after Thanksgiving. Let's do it. Let's do it. That's perfect. That gives me time. I'll prepare. Let's do it. I love it. You're going to be off. You would do that? Oh my God, Lee, I love you so much. Let's do it. We'll just have fun. We'll just have the post Turkey Day, the Black Friday trade conversation. Oh my God, this will be so much fun. Oh, Lee, oh, I'm so grateful. This will be so much fun. Yay. Oh my God, it'll be fun. I'll make sure I'm really well prepared with questions and then we can just like banter. Oh, I love it. Thank you, Lee. I love you. Gosh, you're such a, we're going to call it Black Friday. Black Fridays with Lolo and Lee. I love Black Fridays with Lolo and for your for your depressing economic news, come to Lolo and Lee. We'll bring you down. Pitch black dark as Hades Friday. Exactly. Black like Stephen Miller's soul. I fucking love that idea. Oh my God, you guys make me laugh. Oh, jeez. Okay. All right, well, let's find out what Canada did to piss off the big guy. I'm sorry. It's not, but none of this is funny, really. But it is, I don't know. I'm gonna find some humor somewhere. Gallows humor, I guess. Okay. President Donald Trump said late Thursday on social media that he was ending all trade negotiations with Canada because of recent tell it was. Oh my God, it was Doug Ford's ad. Are you kidding me? Oh my God, my stomach. Said he was ending all trade negotiations. I know you were serious. Oh my God, I didn't think you were serious though. I'm going to be really honest with you. I thought that had to be a joke. Loving Canadian. Hi, SB. Loving Canadian PM. What a mensch. Yeah. I mean, yeah, so far so good, even though he's like a horrible capitalist pig. But other than that, I mean, I think he's probably great. All right. President Dump said late on social media that he was ending all trade negotiations with Canada. I can't do the baby voice because the nothing's working. So unfortunately, I'll try and do like my favorite baby voice, just as real. Egregious behavior, which he called egregious behavior aimed at influencing U.S. court decisions. That's not true because he does not know how to spell egregious. Okay? That's what it is. He does not know how to spell egregious. So somebody wrote that for him. He's such a little fucking whiny bitch. Such a little bitch. Such a witty baby. All right. The post comes after Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney said he aims to double his country's exports to countries outside of the US because of the threat posed by Trump's tariffs. No fucking joke. Like, I would do that. I hope they do. I hope you guys do. A $75 million ad campaign. The ad is good, but Ford loves Ronnie. Yeah, I know. Yeah. I mean, yeah. He's Doug Ford's an idiot. Let's be honest. Trump posted, the Ronald Reagan Foundation has just announced that Canada has fraudulently used an advertisement, which is fake, featuring Ronald Reagan speaking negatively about tariffs. The ad was for $75,000. They only did this to interfere with the decision of the U.S. Supreme Court and other courts, the president wrote on Truth Social. Tariffs are very important to the national security and economy of the USA. Based on their egregious behavior, all trade negotiations with Canada are hereby terminated. See? Put the money in the bag, see? Carney's office didn't immediately respond to a request for comment Thursday night. Earlier Thursday, Ronald Reagan Presidential Foundation and Institute posted on X that the ad created by the government of Ontario misrepresents the presidential radio address to the nation on free and fair trade dated April 25th, 1987. It added that Ontario did not receive Foundation permission to use and edit the remarks. Well, naughty, naughty. I know Ford loves Trump. What's the problem? The foundation said it's reviewing legal options in this matter. Oh, give me a break. And invited the public to watch the end. Nobody cares. I don't give a flying motherfuck what your boss, one of the people who killed members of the LGBTQ community through their race bigoted refusal to acknowledge the AIDS crisis and do something about it when they could have saved people's lives. So Reagan is burning in hell right now, and that's where I'd like to leave him. Carney met with Dump earlier this month to try and ease trade tensions as the two countries and Mexico prepare for a review of the U.S. Mexico Canada agreement, a trade deal Dump negotiated in his first term, but has since soured on because that's not the plan now. I'm sorry, it's not the plan. No, they're never gonna. He's never gonna deal in good faith. No, you guys. He's trying to screw you guys. He's trying to screw everybody, and he's trying to screw us too. By the way, so we're not left out of that. He's trying to screw the American people as well, and he's doing it. More than three-quarters of Canadian exports go to the U.S., and nearly 3.6 billion Canadian, 2.7 billion USD worth of goods and services cross the border daily. Daily. In his own post on X last week, Doug Ford, the premier of Ontario, posted a link to the ad and the message. It's official. Ontario's new advertising campaign in the US has launched. It was such a big party when he kicks. I can't wait. I know. I'm telling you right now. I can't wait, and I hope he's on the decline. I have to believe that he is, but I don't know. He's also got access to the best doctors in the world. Good morning, Teresa. How are you? Seriously, no one with a sense in Canada believed there was a deal to be had. We know Dump only wants a one-way deal, and it would break his own deal in a minute. Yeah, totally. Yeah, I mean, this is not nothing. And you know what? Guess what? He doesn't care that you know that. He doesn't give a shit who knows what he's up to because he's just going to do it because they let him. That's why. And by they, I mean all of us. He continued, using every tool we have, we'll never stop making the case against American tariffs on Canada. The way to prosperity is by working together. That's true, but that's not the point. Dump said earlier this week that he had seen the ad on television and that it showed his tariffs were having an impact. I saw an ad for last night from Canada. If I was Canada, I'd take that same ad also. I don't understand what that means. The president has moved to impose steep tariffs on US tariffs on many goods from Canada. In April, Canada's government imposed retaliatory levies on certain US goods, but it carved out exemptions for some automakers to bring specific numbers of vehicles into the country, known as remission quotas. Trump's tariffs have especially hurt Canada's auto sector, much of which is based in Ontario. This month, the giant automaker Stellantis said it would move a production line from Ontario to Illinois. Well, naughty, 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 naughty. So that's that. Let me take that off, and then we can continue to watch. Yeah, they're still standing there. I'm like, is that live? Yeah. I don't know what we're gonna see when they come out, but we'll find out. All right, let me pull up. Of course, PP and the conservatives will complain that Carney is too incompetent. Yeah, I mean, that's the game. It's all a game. It's all a game. I'm really tired of that. I'm really tired of that. I mean, wasn't what was the? I really don't want to listen to Reagan, but what was so different about the comments that Reagan made versus what was put out there? Oh, here we go. Yeah, free and fair. Oh my God, there's so not a thing here. Hold on. This is from Reuters. The 1987 radio address by the late former President Reagan at the center of a new U.S. Canada row as a defense of free but fair trade, in which he explained his decision to put duties on Japanese goods in a trade dispute. Dump said on Thursday that all trade talks with Canada were terminated on what he called a fraudulent advertisement by the Canadian province of Ontario, which Reagan was featured in speaking negatively about tariffs. Separately, the Reagan said, "Don't do it." And they said, "Oh, Reagan's 5-minute statement contains a strong defense of the benefits of free trade while explaining his decision the week before to impose tariffs on Japan due to its inability to enforce their trade agreement with us on electronic." Yeah, I remember this semiconductor thing. Oh my God. This was such a specific situation. We expect our trade. This is how you use tariffs, actually. Okay, by the way, and not that I appreciate Reagan's economic, policies. Believe me, I don't. And I didn't even at the time. We were very violently against Reagan, but I will say, at least there was a modicum of, uh, you know, process and protocols, and for whatever reason, they at least acted like they were adhering to protocols. So I don't know. He added that while trade restrictions of any kind were a step he was loath to take, the U.S. had evidence in the special case of unfair trade practices by Japanese companies. What follows is a lengthy warning of the dangers of trade protectionism used in the Ontario ad, in which Reagan cites how it contributed to the economic misery experienced in the 1930s. Well, okay, high tariffs inevitably lead to retaliation by foreign countries and the triggering of fierce trade wars, he said, of a spiral that leads to higher prices and less competition. Well, where's the lie? That's what I would say. By the way, Carney announced restrictions on the number of vehicles Stellantis can send back into Canada now that they've pulled out of Ontario. Oh my God, I would imagine. What? Okay, this is all self-inflicted. But the thing is you see, this is the problem. This administration views this as a successful implementation of their strategy because they've caused chaos, they've broken alliances. I mean, I think it's so unprecedented how we've treated our allies in this administration in the short 10 months that this administration has had power. Look at the relationships that have been broken. Now, I don't think that I don't think I want to go back to the kind of gentleman's agreement between leaders and, like I'll never forgive the Biden administration for not holding the Saudis account for Khashoggi's death. That was the first moment where I was like, well, not the first moment, but it was one singular moment where I was like, what the effing fuck? So if you're telling me you're a journalist who is living in America, you get lured back to your country to get chopped up and brutally murdered, brutally. And nobody's going to do anything about it. I mean, I don't know. It's really ridiculous. According to my leadership, this is a genius use of leverage. Oh, okay. I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. So it seems to me this is much ado about nothing. I mean, yeah, in the fucking embassy, Jane. So I don't want to go back to the way it was where, the CIA did a bunch of covert killings. Oh, you definitely, we could do that. We can have you not on camera, Lee. And we could even, at that point, I should have my voice change or, my voice things. And we could probably do something there. So we can make it more, you know. And the thing is I'm not going to talk to you. I think we can keep the conversation away from sensitive topics for you because I don't want to put you at any disadvantage or any risk. Um, I think it's more about understanding the mechanics of this and how it works, and that's the premise of our conversation. Maybe a little sharp wit will enter the conversation between the two of us. I don't know. I mean that's been our pattern, so they can't expect us not to be witty. I don't know who posed for the Reagan Foundation, but disgusting that they lied for Trump. I agree with that, Teresa. That when I read what they are saying is the discrepancy, that's not a huge discrepancy. He said what he felt about tariffs. Okay, he said what he felt about tariffs, and he was making a very kind of specific decision about about Japan in that moment. And there was an issue with the semiconductor industry. And actually, in my mind, if you think about it, that was it's too bad that he couldn't have, well, I mean, he did, I guess. But if that was something that could have helped us be more prepared in terms of infrastructure here in this country, then that's good. That's a good thing. And a leader should make sure that our infrastructure is is protected, not protected, but encouraged, right? That our infrastructure is strengthened because COVID, right? When we were at a loss because we didn't have access to certain materials. That was why I was like, why are we not doing the Defense Production Act? Why is that not being invoked? That whole year I was like, why aren't we invoking the Production Act where you can have them, companies basically are subsidized to address critical supplies like chips or whatever the case may be. So I'm all for any country, by the way, not just the United States. Every country should have the ability to help its people, especially during times of extreme, crisis like a pandemic. The Reagan Foundation says they might sue Ontario because Ontario didn't have permission. Oh, fuck them. You know what? Fuck them. I fuck the Reagan Foundation. This is the first time they've been important, okay? So nobody cares. I'm sorry that it's your moment in the sun, Reagan Foundation, but nobody cares, and your guy was still a piece of shit. He killed people. He killed people who had AIDS. So fuck him. Fuck him and fuck whatever her name is too, Nancy. Oh my God, what a loser. That was a horrible presidency. I remember how horrible that presidency was. No, so, well, Reagan's children are alive, but I don't think they run the foundation. One of them is absolutely against Ron Jr., I think, is an atheist and completely disowned his father back in the day. Like spoke out against his father, and has since that time. So your top brass doesn't know much about Canadians, I would guess. Trump's canceling trade dogs as leverage. I mean, I just this is so stupid. And I know that this was the plan. Like this is, we were talking last night. It was a good space last night, by the way. And I would suggest going to Jim's profile on X if you have access to it. And you can check out the recording of the space that we did. Parts of it are funny and parts of it are serious. And I thought it was certainly good to connect with everyone again. I love those guys so much. I love them so much. I like to hear their voices once in a while, and we haven't done that in a minute. But, you know, I think it's one of the frustrations I had from, way back when we were doing this and getting called blue and on and all that kind of stuff, which never really bothered me because I never understood that. Like, are you mad because I conjecture about things? Like, I don't really get it. It didn't really make sense to me. And it turns out that it was just a gimmick. It was just a gimmick to try and silence or discredit people that you don't agree with or that your boss has told you you shouldn't agree with. So it turns out that that was just a boondoggle. But um, can the Allied forces just do some early intervention? I don't know, Meowing Star. I don't know who comes to save us. I don't know. I don't know if this, and the other thing that is, I hesitate to even say this because it makes me kind of sad. But I look at other like authoritarian dictatorships and stuff like that, and those guys were in power for a number of years, right? Like a number of years. And that just makes me so sad. That makes me so sad. And I'm like, could we I need this to be months. I need this to be months, not years, months. All right, thanks for Gal sharing this little piece. Mark Carney says, "You know what? Hold my Molsons. I'm gonna tell you." Oh, there's a bit of good news. Wait, they can say quoting a politician's speech is fair game. Yeah, Neil, I would think so. Also, where would they sue? Ontario? All right, let's listen to Mark Carney, and he'll tell us what's what. Ah, that's loud. Oh wait, can you guys hear it? No. Oh wait. Sorry. Very loud. Oh, this is 10 minutes. Wow, that's really loud. Let me just do that until he comes up. Hold on. There we go. We'll make him a little bigger. Okay, where are you? Where are you, there, Mark? Marky Mark. Marky Mark. Oh, wow. That's okay. Here we go. We'll watch him walk up. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. He can sue Doug. That would be funny. That would be funny.
My prediction, Jays and 6. Anyone taking the other side of that? No? Backed up? You got new slacks? All right, good morning. Look, for months we have stressed the importance of distinguishing things we can control and things we can't control. We can't control the trade policy of the United States. We recognize that that policy has fundamentally changed from the policy in the 1980s, 1990s, 2000s. And it's a situation where the United States has tariffs against every one of their trading partners to different degrees. And it's in that context that our officials, my colleagues, have been working with their American colleagues on detailed, constructive negotiations, discussions on specific transactions, specific sectors, steel, aluminum, and energy. And a lot of progress has been made. And we stand ready to pick up on that progress and build on that progress when the Americans are ready to have those discussions, because it will be for the benefit of workers in the United States, workers in Canada, and families in both of our countries. Now, what we can control, absolutely, is how we build here at home, and that's the focus of Budget 2025, generational investment here in Canada. And what we can also control, or at least heavily influence, is developing new partnerships and opportunities, including with the economic giants of Asia, which is the focus of this trip. En français, depuis, depuis des mois, pendant des mois, j'ai souligné il faut distinguer en ce qu'on peut contrôler et ce qu'on ne peut pas. On ne peut pas contrôler la politique commerciale des États-Unis et ce politique-ci a changé fondamentalement depuis des années avec la nouvelle administration. Maintenant, il y a des tarifs contre tous les pays, tous les pays du monde, en effet. Et dans ce contexte, le gouvernement du Canada a eu des discussions très constructives, approfondies, détaillées avec les Américains afin de faire de progrès dans le secteur de l'acier, de l'aluminium et de l'énergie et d'autres secteurs après tout cela. Et nous sommes prêts à continuer à bâtir ce progrès quand les Américains sont prêts. Mais, point final, on peut contrôler comment on bâtir cette économie ici. Ce sera l'objectif du budget qui va être dévoilé dans quelques semaines. Et on peut contrôler nos nouveaux partenariats, surtout en Asie, avec les géants économiques en Asie. Et ça, c'est l'objectif de ce voyage. Merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup. Neener, 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 neener. Yeah, Canada, you know what? You go on, girl. You do you. Um you do you. Let's see. Here we go. Let's see. Let's see. Gosh, I got a lot. Let me see. I've got some Argentina stuff. I've got some oh, I want to talk about this. I'm teary for what we have lost and what we could have had. Yes, Grace Lisa, I agree with that. You're welcome, Jane. PM Carney has nothing to do with the province of Ontario's ads. Stupid bait question. I know, it is dumb. But this is where we live now. We live in the land of dumb, Neil. That's right. All the smartness is very isolated. So that's where we are now. So quick thing about Letitia James. So I met her actually when I went to this church in Brooklyn for this fundraiser. It was like a joint fundraiser for the church and then a celebration. And oh my God, it was such a beautiful, oh my God. I met so many amazing people at that event and had a chance to just be introduced to her. I didn't like have a long conversation with Letitia James, but she was an icon then. And I was so starstruck meeting her. And she's just a very lovely, I mean, I found her, of course, to be just a very lovely person and so intelligent. She spoke with my boss for quite a while about anti-trafficking and stuff like that. So I listened in on that conversation. But she's just a very wise, of course, very very incredible person. And so I am pissed off that she has to go through this. But this is where we are now. This is where we live. That's where we live. I avoided dealing with reporters who were that dumb. Well, yeah, I mean that's the level of reporting has significantly lessened since that. Yeah, had to use it. That always helps. What do you mean, Jane? Oh, the clip. Yeah. He's improved his French. Yeah, he's had to use it. That's right. So his French is going to be better. Oh, you are already on the Tish one. Apologies for my redundant. No. Oh my God. Don't be redundant. You're not redundant. You're fine. Are you kidding me? No, Teresa, you're perfect. Don't say a thing. No, I was just wrapping up the story that I forgot to talk about and forgot to include. But that's all. It's just I'm just humble bragging that I met Letitia James once. So it's actually not that, it's not that great a story. Let's see. Wait, what else? Oh, and then so last night, the space. That's right. Gal and I and Jay Rance and Jim. Jim hosted a space, and it was very good. It was so nice to hear everybody's voice, and I loved it. Good morning. Good morning, Jay Rance. Was your ears burning? Because I was just talking about you. And I just love having conversations with Gal, Jay, and Jim. It's so much fun to hear what they're thinking about and what they're concerned about, and just to I really appreciate. I did summon you. Oh, um, it's really great to hear Jim talk about his work, and then Gal. I want to hear more Gal. I want to hear more Gal, please. Um, I want to get a. I really have. I do have a dream that we have like this incredible big, show where it's Gal Squad. I still have that dream. One of these days. I guess all bloated empires eventually die. Just didn't want to be stuck in the rotting corpse. I mean, Meowing Star. I totally do appreciate what you're saying, and I have to be honest. I didn't think that we would be in this place this fast. And I guess empires do die. I thought this one would just like be on a continuous improvement track, not in a fast way because it doesn't improve really. For some people, it never improves. But I was hoping that this country would at least like not throw the baby out with the bathwater and maybe just build on what we had and change what isn't working. But no, 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 no. That's not the way it has to be. Now it has to be burn it all down. But it is really. I mean, I'm really stuck on this thing of this is about really bringing down what we took not took for granted, but what we assumed was always going to be in place so that we can actually do good for people, and that government actually does serve the people. So yeah, will speed us up, yeah, because it's more obvious. I mean, that's what the theories are, right? Like the anarchists and other people that I read on social media and other things, they talk about like the what's it late it's not late stage capitalism, it's the end of liberalism. That's what it was. And I don't understand a lot of that large economic kind of social whatever you would call that structure. I would like us to read a little bit more about that, and that would be interesting. So maybe we'll look into that. It's all theory, but we're living it. Yeah. We're living the end of liberalism. And I think we've hit on it, right? Like I think the real end goal is a lack of accountability, a lack of regulation, a lack of oversight, so that if you are a wealthy person in this country, you can exist with impunity, right? Like you can go ahead and do the things you need to preserve your own wealth, to take advantage of others, and it really doesn't matter what happens to uh, lo- you know lower socioeconomic levels in this country. It doesn't matter what happens to those people. It doesn't matter if entire groups, are targeted with violence, like the trans community has been. Right? That's what the world that they want. They don't want to have to be politically correct. They want to say what they're thinking. More importantly, and maybe as importantly, not more, is they want to create zero accountability for their investing and their other things that are going to, kind of create this world without accountability. And along those lines, there are people like the scions of, industry and technology who need a lot of natural resources in order to make a lot of money. And what they are hell bent on, and that's why none of the donor class is stopping anything, including the tariff scheme, which ruins businesses. You notice that people only step in when it actually is going to impact them in that moment. Jensen Huang and Mark Benioff of San Francisco calling up the president to stop the National Guard from coming to their city because they don't want to have to go to dinner at Crustacean and have to see National Guard troops. So they got special treatment because they're rich and because they gave the president a lot of money. So this is what I'm fighting, and unfortunately, those guys are the one group of people that are making our lives a living hell. And then there's another group who are actually what I would call the foot soldiers, the Russ Votes, the Stephen Miller, Pamela Joe, and all of that. And they are the ones who are actually executing on how you crater out the social safety nets, how you crater out the government, funding for USAID and all that kind of stuff. And all of that works towards their favor, which is why no one with any power or leverage over those individuals, over this administration, the people who have leverage over the administration aren't saying fuck all about anything because it works for them. And if there's a minor blip here and there with a tariff and a company, an auto company has to figure something out, well, then they just call the president and they figure it out. So it's exactly what we said was going to happen around creating a serfdom. And I'm just sad. I'm sad that it's going to be such a drastic, in a couple of years at this pace, we're going to look back and be a completely different country from what we are today. That's what I feel. Is that what we don't recognize today is going to seem mild in comparison to what we're going to as a country experience. And I'm not trying to be like hyperbolic, kind of like, ugh. I'm trying to just like, you know, uh, I'm trying to look at the evidence of what we are seeing and trying not to sugarcoat or to. I don't think it's good to question yourself anymore because all the things we said were right. All the things we said were accurately driving us towards this place. Leave. We're going to be North Korea in a couple of years if this doesn't stop. I mean, SB, that's really it. Hi, Spock. Spocko's brain is here, which is Mr. Spock. Hi, Mr. Spock. Holy warrior. Pete Bigsbreath is bringing his fundamental interpretation of Christianity to the Pentagon. I mean, you guys, this is like, I don't know what to tell you. I really don't know what to tell you. Like, this is bad. And I just don't know how to stop it. One of the things we talked about last night was California Forever, too, which is this movement to actually build a network county, a network state within Solano County, and primarily to build, get ready for it, it's shipbuilding because there's like shipbuilding, old shipbuilding yards up there. But it's not only to do that, but they're building ship drones. Now, I don't know what ship drones means, but we're going to find out. FYI, just in case you know any. Oh, Canada needs nurses. Thank you, Jane. So there you go. I wish I was a nurse. I would move to Canada, but I don't. That is too nice a word. Shit show is more like, yeah, exactly. You're right. You're right, Grace Lisa. You're right. Or you're right, easily. They can have the mothball fleet for practice. Well, the thing is this is really, it's a serious thing. In fact, let me tell you how serious it is. Oops, hold on. No, wait, what's going on? Oh man, this is not okay. Ah, okay. I found this. Right. This is from San Francisco Chronicle, which is the big newspaper in San Francisco. And this is what it is.
have been maritime oriented here and in Vallejo for many, 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 many years. And so it is absolutely part of our heritage to think that there may be an opportunity to reinvigorate the county, to bring those jobs back. It is a once in a lifetime opportunity for us. It's generational. 10,000 jobs, people who would not have to commute anymore.
But it's got to be done the right way.
It absolutely has to be done the right way, and it has to be done with public input. There is still an approval through the planning process that is public. They got to go to the Bay Delta Commission and they got to get approval from them, right? Because we got to know how it's going to affect the Bay. There's a lot of wetlands out there. We got to make sure that none of that's going to be negatively impacted. If it is, how are you going to mitigate it? The largest mitigations need to happen for those folks who are most impacted, and that is going to be Collinsville and Birds Landing. What I cannot and would not ever support, if we put in the port, we get the city. Do not tie these two things together. And if it was brought in that fashion, for me, it would be an absolute no. People in Solano County have been here a long time. To have people come in from the outside who don't know us and tell us how it's going to get done, that ain't going to fly. It ain't gonna play. It's great that you want to bring benefit to our county, but don't bring any harm to the residents.
Because they don't have the information.
Sorry, this setup is so hard. I forgot I clipped that, not clipped, but I had saved that Mark Cuban thing. He testified before a Senate committee on healthcare and stuff like that. And actually, the little bit that I caught was really good. But anyway, that's California forever. And if you know Northern California at all, you'll know that, yeah, never trust a guy wearing cowboy boots. So it's interesting because that part of California is still very kind of rural, but very close to the Bay Area. Okay. So the issue that he was talking about was that it's very hard to live out there because the commute into areas where there's more employment is challenging to get to. And it used to be that you had to drive it. There wasn't, I think there's some kind of access from, not from BART, but I think there's some. But anyway, regardless, it's a very odd little county that is actually beautiful. It's a beautiful county, and it has it had a lot of deep water, the Delta and stuff like that, where there was a lot of ship activity and tankers and stuff like that, in like Martinez and stuff like that. So but it also is in the midst of really, really delicate, like marshes and wetlands and stuff like that, like extraordinary. So I've started diving down to the into the because this is real. This Solano County deal, this California Forever, they're really working on it. And I think with the current regime and their emphasis on defense contracts and other things, and these guys doing shipbuilding, do you ever think it was kind of weird how Dump was always like really talking about, we need to build ships and we need to do this and we need to do that? Well, these guys are all about the shipbuilding stuff. So anyway, I don't really know who's all behind it. We haven't really dove deep into it, but we're gonna dive deep into California forever. So let's pull up what Gal shared. Oh no. I don't want to play anymore. I don't want to play anymore. Holy Warrior Pete Pig's Breath is bringing his fundamentalist interpretation of Christianity into the Pentagon. So we're going to read that, but I want to pull up this other thing you did too. And then we'll read it all. Oh, it's a salon piece. Excellent. Let me make sure I've got them all. Okay, good. Oh, whoops. No, I didn't. I forgot to bring this up last night. Well, that's because I was talking too much, Gal. I feel really bad. I feel like I talk too much in those spaces. Can I be honest with you? I want to hear you more. So I'm just telling you. I feel like I talk too much, and I really would like you to. I would like to hear more of Gal. I need more Gal. I need more Gal in my life. Did you guys see my shirt, Bella Ciao? I got a new shirt from Etsy. Whoop whoop. Yeah, we're gonna get into California forever. That's for fuck's sake, sure. Okay, okay. All right, let's start here. Actually, oops, you're not looking at it. Well, you're not looking at it. All right. Harmeet Dillon. Oh God. Andy No is an idiot. Okay, he's an op. He's a provocateur. He's a whiny ass baby. He puts himself in the middle of something and provokes people until they throw milkshakes on him. Okay, that's what Andy No is. That's all he is. Just like these other dipshits on the ground. Cam Higby, Nick Shirley, Nick Sorter. They're all fucking incels who are grown men in boys' bodies because they like to act like incels and hang with the cool kids, but they're all aging out. Okay, here's the thing, Andy, Cam, you guys are old, and it's starting to look a little cringe that you're trying to hang with the kids. Fucking asshole. Cam Higby is a fucking asshole. Okay, can I just tell you that? Cement milkshakes. He's an idiot. He's fine. Look at him. He's fine. I fucking hate him. Oh well, I wanted to. But anyway, Gal says take notice. Harmeet Dillon is the Assistant Attorney General. Actually, let me move this over here because then I can look at you. I just want to look at you guys. Oops, I fucked it up. I fucked it up. I fucked it up. Harmeet Dillon is the Assistant Attorney General for Civil Rights at the DOJ, believe it or not. I know you never thought it would be possible, but yep, there she is. The worst thing I thought she was going to be was the head of the Republican National Committee, but no, oh no, hold my arsenic. She's now the Assistant Attorney General for Civil Rights, of all things, which is funny because she doesn't believe in civil rights. Andy No is a right wing provocateur and propagandist that focuses on creating fictional, scary stories about Antifa. Dillon previously represented No in bogus lawsuits against Antifa. He's a dick. It's a whole world I never knew existed. Andy No posts, it's a whole world I never knew existed. After years representing me in an Antifa related case, my former attorney, Harmeet Dillon, told the Daily Signal how deep the networks go, even with decades in law. Harmeet was stunned. Full interview. Andy No. Andy No. I thought he was gone. I'm gonna be honest with you. I thought he was just gonna be gone. Oh, background sources. Ooh, this is a good one. Andy, no, he's such a dick. Yeah, this is good because he's raised his stupid face again. So here we go. This is from the Jacobin or Jacobin. The point of this is that we have a DOJ civil rights person who is deeply connected to the people making shit up on Antifa. Absolutely. 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 I enjoy the spaces too. We're very good. We're a very good group. That's what I think. We're very entertaining, if I do say so myself. Oh, I'm going to tell you this story. So I'm a co-host of the space, right? So I get to see who's requesting to speak and who's not, and all that kind of stuff. So when someone comes up just to want to speak, I usually go in and I look at their post just to see, oh, are they friend or foe or whatever, like whatever, just to know who they are, because sometimes I just don't want, I don't want random people coming up and talking. Sorry, if you want to talk on a space, go open your own space. That's the beauty of that platform. But you don't have to come, there's no obligation for me as a host to invite anybody up to those goddamn things. It could be me just reading you the phone book and you can go fuck yourself. Anyway, the point is last night there was this weird account, hyper something, and so I look at hyper something and I'm going down the tweets just to kind of look for, what's going down. And they said something like, Jim Stewartson should be in prison. So I said, so let me get this straight. You think the host should be in prison, but you would like to come up and speak to the host. That's how fucking pathetic you are. And you sat there like a little bitch and you waited. And then what I did is I removed you and I blocked you so that you can't come back into the space because I'm a co-host. Anyway, turns out that account was a larger one of the troll accounts that I'm not familiar with because I don't pay attention to those people. I think they're useless wastes of human beings. Um, but apparently they were a little mad and they thought that J Rance removed them from the space for some reason. J Rance, who was not a co-host, so so had no idea that they were even asking to speak, and so then they post something like J Rance is a demon or something. I don't know what they said. So so I said, so I posted, I'm the one. Oh, and apparently they go by the name. Should I say it? Should I not say it? I don't know. They go by the name Microchip, I guess, or something like that, which I don't understand. So I said, I removed you from the space, micro dick. Anyway, I thought it was really funny. I thought it was very funny. I'm so sick of those people. I'm going to tell you right now, and I'm listening in on some of them are getting their comeuppance, and I couldn't be happier. So there you go. And I'm not going to say anything more about it. But you know what? Fuck you. Fuck you, and I hope you fucking burn, bitch. Okay, dude, see the above link. I'm sorry. Okay. stop stop talking. Oh, this is him. Okay. So this is the guy I called him micro dick last night. Oh yeah. Well, anyway, I told him off last night, so he tried to come in and fuck with Jim. I love that these people exist on this platform, right? This X platform, Milkshake Boy. Oh no, I don't know where his accent comes from. Hi, that's Max. Liberty Bell is Max. The space kept crashing. Was it sabotage? No, it didn't crash for me. Did it crash for people listening? That's weird. It might have been sabotage. I doubt it though. I never think of that stuff. That stuff I don't think really happens. Although it could, I guess. I mean, actually Jim is being sued by the head of the FBI, so maybe you know, every time I think about that I'm like, okay, but yeah, no one's probably picking on anybody in particular. However, the head of the FBI is actually suing one of my friends. Anyway, here's Microchip. Oh my god. Well, anyway, he's a very sensitive person because he's very upset that he didn't get to speak on the space last night. It is unbearable. I don't even go over there. But I would for spaces because I love it. Micro dick is better. Yeah, he's micro dick to me because anybody who's like spending, like literally, I think about this. I think about this with these folks. You are literally like he is sitting at his computer. Get this, all right? This is micro dick. He's sitting at his computer and he's like, uh, Jim Stewartson is having a space. I think I'll run over and say something and just, or maybe I'll just, yeah, that's right. I'm gonna go over and I'm gonna help. I'm gonna say something to Jim. I'm gonna say something really mean. That's what I think. I literally think every time that that he that those people are spending so much time. Lolo's a fat pig. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, micro dick. Literally, what is not in your life that you have to go and spend so much time on a dude that just writes a column? What does Jim do? He just writes. He's not writing about these guys. He's not writing about anybody except for the people who are actually fucking this country. Anyway, so let me tell you this. Oh yeah. Oh, it's Douglas Mackey. See, I always get like really confused. There's like 16 names that these people go by, so I'm always confused. All right. Anyway, the government deployed microchip as a witness in the trial of Douglas Mackey, AAKA Ricky Vaughn, as part of the mostly online alt-right coalition that helped boost Donald Trump to the presidency in 2016. Maybe that's it. Following 4 tense days of deliberation, a jury convicted Mackey of election interference on March 31st, increasing the probability that microchip might provide information for future federal prosecutions of a similar nature. Oh, see, I always mix everybody up. I always think they're the same person. During the trial, the court granted microchip the ability to keep his real identity secret. Oh, 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 or we need more hatred and fear. Everyone needs to stop being such goddamn pussies. Well, that would start with you, micro dick. Get a grip on yourself. Go fuck your mom. The trial established that microchip is working for the FBI on multiple cases and has been a source for them for 5 years, going back to the time around the 2018 midterm elections. Micro Dick has deep connections to the pro-Trump radical right, and his cooperation. This is why this is the group that's after people. Hello. Called you a demon. Yeah, the microchip called you a demon, but the SPLC called him Judas. So there. Here's what. Hey, well, I'm just gonna keep going. I have no idea. Okay, listen, we have $1 million campaign in Hillary, and they have no idea how I spread like cancer. I'm gonna reenact this for you again, micro dick. Here you are last night. Jim Stewartson's having a space. I think I'll go on the app and interrupt this space. Literally, come on, dude. Are you 12? I mean, Minecraft, or what is it? What are you? I love it. Although his identity remains a secret, he showed up in court on March 22nd unmasked. Everyone in the court that day, including Douglas Mackey, Mackey's family, the jury, and the reporters present, saw Microchip's face. Online, Microchip favored an avatar featuring a impish young man wearing a MAGA hat and raising an ice cream cone. The real Microchip is a middle-aged man, and you know what? That's what they all are. They're all either bitter fucking cows or they're fucking middle-aged motherfuckers who can't are unfuckable. That's right. Anyway, I'm not going to go through the rest of it because he doesn't actually do, but I'll include this on the thing. I don't want to give him any more attention. Microchip got to keep his ID hidden. Well, you know what? Whatever. I just think it's I'm sorry, but if you are literally spending your time, I have nothing. I have nothing for you. I have nothing. You are a fucking pathetic carbon unit if that's how you're spending your time. And you know what? Karma's a bitch. And it's coming. It's coming for you. I'll tell you that right the fuck now. All right. Far right forces. This is from the Jacobin. Sorry, going back to this, the Andy No thing. This is from 2019, actually. Far right forces will converge on Portland tomorrow, incited by the right wing provocateur Andy No, though he poses as a journalist. I don't think it's the same one, though, Max. It's not the same one. Yeah, I think I did remember seeing that, but I don't think it was the same person. Though he poses, although some of his friends were connected. So let me just leave it at that. Yes, there is a connection between because he types so fast. Will you wait till you get to the quote about how he's a kook and can see the future? Is that micro dick or is that Andy? No, I mean both of them. Though he poses as a journalist, the purpose of his platform is to sow harassment and violence against his targets on the left, and the mainstream media have fallen for it. And they're really falling for it now because everybody who is stupid is being legitimized by this regime. That's right. The media don't know what to make of Andy No. The New York Times calls No an independent journalist. CNN describes him as a conservative journalist. Other outlets term No a conservative writer to distinguish him from actual reporters. But none of these labels get at who No is. I'm sorry if I'm not saying his name right. I don't actually know how to pronounce that, but I've heard him referred to as Andy No, so I'm just going with that. But I apologize if it's not the proper pronunciation. More importantly, they failed to define his role in far right politics, media, and violence. An incident from October 2018 in Portland illustrates the role well. It begins with the Portland police killing Patrick Kimmons, a 27-year-old African American male, in disputed circumstances. The Black Lives Matter style activist group Don't Shoot Portland called for a protest on October 6. Kimmons' family members joined in what local media described as a peaceful and uneventful event. There was one dicey moment during the march. A driver made an illegal right turn into protesters who were in a crosswalk and had the walk sign. A local TV station that recorded the incident wrote, "Driver plows through protesters." Video shows a man stopping in front of a silver Lexus that then strikes him and pushes him for more than 30 feet. Down the block, a brief confrontation ensues with a protester shoving the driver once and others hitting his vehicle. The driver left in his car without any more incident as protesters yells, "Get out of here." It was unremarkable, but another video of the incident began circulating where it is difficult to see the protester being struck, enabling false claims such as Antifa anarchists threaten elderly driver in Portland. The story jumped to Fox News with Tucker Carlson replaying the obscured video, blaming everyone from Antifa and Occupy ICE to the Washington Post, Maxine Waters, Hillary Clinton, and protesters yelling at Trump officials in restaurants. Carlson's guest was Andy No, playing an expert on tax law enforcement in Portland and an affected British accent. The Wall Street Journal gave No a platform where he omitted crucial evidence that the driver deliberately struck a protester while hyping outrage of a mob of angry, agitated ingrates and criminals marching for a dead black criminal attacking a lone, elderly, white victim. It's farcical. The only significant law breaking was by the driver, who could have been charged with vehicular assault. But in a city that's become an epicenter of far right violence, the white nationalist friendly Patriot Prayer leapt on the faux outrage for a flash march for law and order in PDX a week later. The march degenerated into street battles between right-wing fighters and masked anti-fascists as downtown bargoers looked confused. At least one right-wing brawler was caught on video stomping a person on the ground, but no arrests were ever made. One reporter said they were maced by Antifa for no reason. But it didn't end there. The flash march created new viral moments. A video of a left-wing activist harassing a woman claiming to be a 9/11 widow was posted days later to the Daily Caller, which was co-founded by Tucker Carlson. Not confounded, co-founded. The woman appears to have lied about being a 9/11 widow. Efforts to dox the man hurling invective resulted in a professional skateboarder from Portland being falsely identified and inundated with death threats. Eventually, the man in the video was identified, which started a new round of harassment. One source says the social service agency that fired him over the video was flooded with hundreds of harassing calls and Facebook messages that were explicitly racist and threatening to harm and kill staff. Carlson credited No with publicizing the videos. No was a bit player, but the incident bolstered him. The incident was an example of a disturbing media model for the Trump era. Opportunists using biased reporting, social media, and wild accusations inflame vigilante and digital mobs to target enemies such as the media, Democrats, and left-wing activists. That's it right there. That is fucking it right there. That's it. It is a model. And this is in 2019. And here we are in 2025. And this is the way it is. This is just the way it is. Glue stick. J-Rance, wait till you get to us. Is that microchip or is that? That's probably microchip. I'm sorry, J-Rance. I'm jumping around. I'm insane. On pills. Don't shower. Can barely take care of myself. Hear voices. Talk to the walls and can predict the future. You know what? I am suffering from a major depressive disorder. I am under the care of a physician for my mental and emotional health. I definitely want anyone who needs help to get it. And micro dick is no different. At the same time, I'm going to tell you right now, I am going to mock micro dick, not on his, struggles, but I'm going to mock him because you don't then become a fucking operative who goes after people and then it recruits other people to go after people. So that is what I'm trying to say. Okay. Like, I totally understand. I understand, and I suffer greatly, but it didn't make me a fucking asshole that then spends my entire existence trying to bring other people down who have nothing to do with me. I mean, unless Micro Dick is Mike Flynn's, you know, mom, then I don't know why he's upset about what Jim says about Mike Flynn. I just don't get it. And it never has made sense to me. And that's because there is no sense to be made of it. It's purely a paid operation. And I don't give a shit. If they're doing it for free, then they're even more stupid than I thought they were. So there, that's what I'm going to say. The fake accent, yeah. All right, but back to Andy No, another fucking instigator that is just a piece of shit person. And again, I don't know who's paying him or if he just does this because it gets his yayas out, but I'm going to tell you that. You can be sick without being a dick. Yes. And that's okay. And those two things are separate in my mind, because a lot of us struggle with different varying degrees of mental and emotional distress. But it doesn't mean that you get to do that. And you spend your entire online career trying to bring people down who are just trying to get the word out. Literally. I mean, make it make sense. Anyway, sorry. It really gets me mad. Not a dick, just sick. That's right. That's right. Not a dick. Or just don't be a dick, right? Like, fucking move on. Do something, like fucking go, I don't know, go look at porn. I don't care. Do something. The incident was okay. Figures like Carlson and No reap followers, prominence, and income from the outrage and threats of violence. But to keep the ratings and the money flowing, the outrage machine must be cranked even louder, risking greater violence. Well, here we are. One political organizer in Portland who has received death threats stemming from No's work says, it's an arms race for money, and the narrative isn't the point. The grift is, the larger, more offensive things you can do, the system rewards it. How in the world did we get here? This appears to be No's model. He uses social media to push biased opinions in conjunction with selectively edited videos that play to the bigotry of his audience. His followers get worked up, and this is often followed by a deluge of threats against his subject. That's the key. You inspire others to do that. And that's what's happened in this case, too. Micro Dick. They inspire others to jump on board. Jacobin has talked to 6 people in Portland, including journalists, political officials, and activists, who described harassing messages and threats of violence resulting from No's work on or political involvement in Portland. Friends of 2 other activists claimed they went into hiding after No spread their names and they became targets of harassment. Some individuals who tangled publicly with No are reluctant to go on the record. They say they want to avoid the trauma of being subjected to a new round of death threats. See, here's the thing. Like, when people engage in that activity, like online, it chills your activity. Like, I don't stream driving anymore because those assholes are always threatening to have me swatted or something, right? Like, just to harass me. So I basically say, fuck you. And that is literally what it does. It chills your activity and chills speech. And that's wrong. No, like, that's wrong. If you don't agree with what I'm saying, fucking turn the channel. It's fine. Um, oh, there's a Bobo. There's a Bobo, but I'm on screen right now. Sorry. It's okay. Say hello to everybody. Hi, everybody. No one can see you, but they can hear you. Well, maybe they can't even hear you, actually. Oops, hold on.
Oh, yeah, I guess because I'm probably not loud enough. Hi, everybody.
Yeah, they can hear you. Well, hi, I'll call you back, huh?
Yeah, don't worry about it. You know what? I didn't realize you were streaming. I'll just join your chat.
Okay, great. All right. See you then. Okay, bye. I love you. Cutie. Bobo is here. All right, let's see. Madison, a Portland activist who tracks No, says No signals this is a person that should be targeted, should be harassed, and should be threatened. Andy puts a target on them, and that results in the person being doxxed. Andy is giving people explicit permission to unleash hatred and violence on people. He absolutely knows what he is doing. That's right, he does. Hi, Bobo. Bo-biddy Bobo. No is so intertwined with the specter of violence, I encountered it after just a Facebook post. I wrote a post with the headline, Andy No is no journalist. The post was shared by notorious right wing figure Carl Benjamin, aka Sargon of Akkad, who has been featured. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is the way I feel about it. It's like, ah, what's a really cool handle? What's really gonna send shivers down their spines? I don't know. Let me think about that. That's right. I'm gonna call myself Sargon of Akkad, who has been featured on No's podcast and was banned from YouTube for repeatedly joking about raping a British Labour prime. I don't know what MP stands for, except for MP. Sargon. Sargon. In the comments on Benjamin's post were calls for violence against myself, Antifa, and others. Within hours, I started receiving threats directly, such as, you're a bunch of retards, and it will be a glorious day when you are all dealt with. And you are a disgraceful liar. If you or anyone of your ilk throws even a fucking tissue at me or my family, watch what the fuck happens to your family. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Member of Parliament. Thank you, Neil. My God, how embarrassing. How embarrassing. How embarrassing that I don't know that. Bobo is the lesser known clown. That's what her handle is. Now this model threatens to turn deadly. On June 29th, Andy No was attacked in Portland while videoing a Patriot Prayer rally, heavily outnumbered by Antifa. A video shows him being punched, kicked, and hit with a coconut milkshake. Coconut milkshakes. Interesting. Very specific. And silly string by masked individuals. Within minutes, videos of the attack and of a beaten No narrating the incident were picked up by right wing media such as Breitbart that have a dodgy relationship to facts. Headlines screaming brutal assault, and vicious attack by Antifa on No were pumped out. And to this day, that's really what he kind of stands for. The sensationalism breached the mainstream with CNN's Jake Tapper sending out an ill-informed tweet and above a video of No being attacked, writing, Antifa regularly attacks journalists. It's reprehensible. Jake Tapper is such a fucking idiot. Like, he's like this closet Nazi, right? Like, he's like a closet Nazi. I don't get him. In a bizarre twist, the Portland police threw fuel on the fire by tweeting that some milkshakes thrown on June 29th contained quick-drying cement. The police never provided evidence, and observers, including journalists, noted that many counter-protesters drank the milkshakes, making it extremely unlikely that anyone could have laced them with concrete. But if you see someone walking around with a distended tummy, I would ask. Or check that coconut. But amplified by conspiracy theorists like Jack Posobiec, the tweet went viral, whereupon right-wing media turned the disinformation into fact and the mainstream press treated it as a credible assertion. The police tweet incited the right further, and the group that made the milkshakes was deluged with death threats. It culminated in the city being flooded with death threats. God, what the fuck? Days after No was attacked, City Hall was evacuated after a bomb threat. One source inside City Hall said the mayor's office received insane vitriol, and every office was receiving threats, including almost 100 harassing calls that tied up emergency service dispatchers. I blame the Chans. Far-right figures responded to the June 29th attack on No with graphic threats and plans to hold an End Domestic Terrorism and End Antifa rally in Portland on August 17th. Such is the level of far-right anger that many in the city fear the rally could become another Charlottesville or worse, given the anti-Latino murder spree in El Paso and other foiled white nationalist plots since then. To be clear, the attack on No should be condemned. It serves no political purpose, and the left should not be attacking media makers, even if they use dicey methods. Some Antifa activists in Portland also admit the attack played right into right-wing hands by elevating him. That's exactly what happened. Trump has beatified No as one of his sinless followers, a single man standing there with a camera who never got hit and never hit back before in his life, under assault from the evil Antifa full of sick, bad people. But it would also be a mistake to see No as an innocent or as a journalist, considering that whoever he turns his camera, social media, or pen on is at significant risk of being inundated with violent threats from the far right. Shane Burley is the author of Fascism Today, What It Is and How to End It, and a Portland-based journalist who covered the June 29th rally. He says, I would never condone what happened to Andy. But I think there is reason why he got into conflict with protesters, and dozens of other reporters present seemed to be left alone. Yeah. Burley says one way to think of Andy No is that he's part of a far right media sphere that creates victimization narratives of conservatism and profit from it. It's all about the embattled American man who is under siege at every turn, whether it's trans children, immigrant criminals, anchor babies, or dangerous college campuses. They are all out to destroy us and our values. It's an entire infrastructure that's moved from commentary like National Review, this is good, to populist media hucksters drumming up controversy. It used to be kind of confined to like confined to like just like Bill, what's his name, William Buckley. I always thought of like this crazy conservatism as coming more from like the you know William Buckley camp, that is just like but no, now it's everybody. It became a complete like ecosystem. It's not just your opinion anymore. Now it's news. They are all out to destroy us and our values. It's an intent that's moved from commentary like National Review to populist media hucksters. Oh, I already read that. His actual reporting is very infrequent and sparse. He's not a reporter. No adds a new element in facilitating violence, intentionally or not. He appears to target ideological opponents, which can make them fair game for harassment and violent confrontation. The scale of the threats keep escalating. Now Portland is bracing for the August 17th. This was in 2019. Let me see if there's more. God, I'm going to read this because this is interesting. For the last few years, the far right has used fascistic language about cleansing Portland, while its brawlers wore T-shirts proclaiming themselves kindred to South American death squads that killed thousands of leftists in the 1970s. But in advance of August 17th, that language and memes from the far right have become more extreme. They've posted dozens of threats on social media pledging to kill Antifa and naming left-wing activists in Portland who should be shot during the End Antifa rally. Individuals affiliated with Patriot Prayer and the Proud Boys, who are no longer supposed to use any of their materials, but who just appeared actually, not in Portland, they appeared somewhere else, but they weren't wearing their little like thingamabobbers, like their little colors, because they're not supposed to. The individuals affiliated with Patriot Prayer and the Proud Boys talk of wanting to slaughter Antifa. Others have posted hair-raising images of a Portland activist and his partner with crosshairs over their faces and the words "end domestic terrorists." Another image is of a knife cutting the throat of an anti-fascist with blood spraying out. This is especially ominous. In April 2017, white supremacist Jeremy Christian attended a Patriot Prayer in Portland and threw Nazi salutes while yelling "Die Muslims." Weeks later, Christian allegedly slashed the throats of 3 men, killing 2 after they came to the defense of 2 black teenage girls, one wearing a hijab, whom Christian threatened by saying, "Go home, we need America here." One organizer of the End Antifa rally is Joe Biggs. That's right, Joe, back in the day, a former staffer at Alex Jones' InfoWars website who has encouraged date rape and punching transgender people. That's right, Joe Biggs. He shared an illustration for the rally of a Proud Boy punching an anti-fascist, warning free speech was fought for and paid for with blood. It will not be lost for anything else. Biggs, whose Twitter account was suspended recently, but he's back, used the platform to advise his followers to bring guns and declared death to Antifa. Isn't it interesting, like, reading past stories about all the fuckers and now having this context to see what was happening then? I think it's very interesting. After the FBI visited him, Biggs now says he wants a peaceful demonstration, told his followers to keep their weapons at home. But that may be too little too late, as the far right is encouraging potential mass shooters to come to the rally. Recently, Haley Adams, a provocateur in Portland who told a reporter last year, "Damn straight I support white pride," said on Facebook that she couldn't wait to meet Thomas Bartram on August 17th. Bartram is an InfoWars fan who showed up in El Paso days after the anti-Hispanic massacre and was briefly detained after allegedly brandishing a gun and trying to enter a migrant solidarity center. The center claimed police did not search Bertram's truck that was decked out with violent pro-Trump images, saying he has rights. After being released, Bartram told media he was headed to the End Antifa rally. What connects these dots is Andy No. He even did his bit to stoke right-wing paranoia in El Paso. In a July 29th tweet, No included an image of a flyer about an immigrant rights border resistance tour. No claims stick figures on the flyer represent border enforcement officers being killed and government property fire bombed as part of a plot by Antifa to converge on a 10-day siege in El Paso, Texas. It's been retweeted more than 11,000 times, and hundreds of comments endorse violence against Antifa. 4 days later, Patrick Crusius allegedly killed 22 people in an El Paso Walmart in response to the Hispanic invasion of Texas. No's ascendancy began as an editor at the Portland State University paper The Vanguard. At a university interfaith panel convened in April 2017, No tweeted a brief video claiming the Muslim student speaker said that apostates will be killed or banished in an Islamic state. The entire clip shows the student gave a long answer in response to a hypothetical question about Quranic law. The panelists stressed they weren't experts, and the Muslim student later said he may have misspoke. No's tweet was picked up by Breitbart. The Vanguard fired him days later for a dangerous oversimplification that violated very clear ethics outlined in the Society of Professional Journalists. The Vanguard said No's action placed a PSU student in significant danger. No twisted his termination into an article for the National Review, fired for reporting the truth, which the student paper said was a misrepresentation that resulted in unjust threats against them. Critics see this episode as establishing a pattern in No's work and, frankly, the larger media landscape that we have. Hi, Tom. Using charged language and selective facts on social media that stoke bigotry, putting his subject at risk of harassment while boosting his own reach and status. It worked because in 2018, No graduated to writing a racist and massively Islamophobic travelogue to 2 Islamic communities in England for the Wall Street Journal. But it's in the city of Portland and state of Oregon that No calls home, where the most damage has been wrought. Zakir Khan is board chair of the Oregon chapter of the Council of American Islamic Relations, a Muslim advocacy and civil rights organization. Khan says of No, that guy is obsessed with us. No has tweeted dozens of times about CARE, saying it has done PR for terrorists and their families. He characterized the CARE's representation of the surviving child of the Muslim couple who committed the 2015 mass shooting in San Bernardino as advocating for the terrorist's orphaned baby. Recently, in a sprawling New York Post opinion, No claimed a suspicious rise in gay hate crimes in Portland fits a pattern of hoaxes. No found space in his 2,100-word article to quote a member of the Proud Boys, which experts call a gang notorious for violence, as the most welcoming organization that I have ever been a part of. Khan says, we are seen as experts on hate crimes reform, so I question No's groundless claims of hate crime hoaxes. He is not an expert in the field. No responded by accusing CARE of terrorism and terror. After the exchange with No, Khan says, we received dozens of threatening and harassing messages. We weren't able to log them all. One post that tagged No, as well as Michelle Malkin, who signal boosts No and started a Protect Andy No fundraiser after June 29th. Remember Michelle Malkin? Where is she now? Oh my God, she's like, she didn't make it. Michelle Malkin, what happened? Did you not make it to the next phase? Did they kick you out? What happened? I haven't heard about you in years. Oh my God. A fundraiser that read, CARE is Hamas. If you stand with your Muslim neighbors, that's spelled interesting, prepare to die with your Muslim neighbors. We will take our country back. No frequently claims that Hamas, the governing authority in Gaza, is connected to CARE. The irony of this is that after CARE challenges No's claim of hate crime hoaxes, he responds with what could be considered hate speech, accusing them of terrorism. This appears to have incited his followers to threaten and harass CARE, actions which might qualify as hate crimes. For his next act, No joined Quillette, I don't know how to say that, where he is a sub-editor, described as the voice of an intellectual dark web. Quillette published a report on May 29th claiming 15 reporters who cover the far right were really Antifa journalists. According to the Columbia Journalism Review, the article established right-wing troll Owen Lenahan was picked up by the neo-Nazi Stormfront website within a day, and a day after that, a video was uploaded to YouTube containing imagery of mass shooters intercut with images of Antifa reporters. Antifa reporters? What's the Antifa reporters? The names of the journalists who were put on a list called the Sunset the Media, while the video ends with a notorious neo-Nazi saying he won't disown anyone who kills the reporters. 2 journalists, including Shane Burley, oh, they're starting early, including Shane Burley, wrote of the unnerving effect of being put on a neo-Nazi death list. Another targeted journalist wrote that Quillette had crossed the line from being merely reactionary to reckless endangerment and bluntly stated that its list could have gotten me killed. The article was so shoddy, Lenahan was suspended from Twitter, but No promoted the article and more significantly continues to promote it. Just as 8 months after the fact, No continued to claim that the striking the protester from the Patrick Crimmins March is really evidence of Antifa taking their anger out on an elderly man. In at least one instance, it appears No has doxed activists himself. During May Day 2019, No published a YouTube video that included him talking to members of the Portland chapter of the Democratic Socialists of America who were tabling for Hands Off Venezuela. The entire time, No points his camera at a sign-in sheet, not the person he's interviewing. In the video, the sheet is digitally blurred. However, Connor Smith, a Portland DSA member, provided a still from what he claims is an earlier version of the video. The still includes a watermark of No's Twitter handle, Mr. Andy No, exactly the same as in the YouTube video. 11 names can be seen on the sign-in sheet, including Smith's, all of which have visible email addresses and 6 of which have phone numbers. Smith says at least one person on the list received threatening messages such as, "Die, commie." My God. I think I'm going to, well, actually, I guess I could finish this. I'm so, these guys are so, it's so depressing to me that we've just like let this continue to fester. I mean, I don't know how you would have stopped it, but yeah, I want to read Jim's Antifa piece. I'm sure some fascist has put all our names and phone numbers in a list. No is more of a symptom, however, which is true. No couldn't exist without social media companies which turn a blind eye to right-wing violence because having to monitor their platforms for hate speech would cut into their profits. Well, they're not doing that anymore, so good news. You can just put that one right out of your mind. No also needs Murdoch-owned media such as the New York Post, Wall Street Journal, and Fox News that allow him to masquerade his bigotry as journalism. These outlets, in turn, are amplified by the larger landscape of mainstream media, which often fail to distinguish between fact-based journalism and pro-Trump white nationalistic propaganda. Add in police who collaborate with the far right and weak political leaders, as in Portland, and you have all the conditions needed for opportunists like Andy No to grab the spotlight. No is just the latest inflammatory right-wing agent in Portland who's tried to vault to the big leagues. Before him was Patriot Prayer leader Joey Gibson, who has seen his ranks of violent white nationalists dwindle due to infighting and long overdue arrests. Way back in 2016, before Gibson, was another media provocateur, Michael Strickland. Strickland shot his YouTube career, which mainly featured him doxing and harassing local activists, in the foot after he pulled a gun on a Black Lives Matter protest while being armed with enough ammunition for a massacre. That's not to say the left should ignore the likes of Andy No or even Tucker Carlson. They are both the cause and effect of white nationalism and the violence that comes with it. Their synergy is also a reflection of the complex digital landscape. Legacy media like the Wall Street Journal, New York Post, and even Fox News need Andy No just as much as he needs them. They gave him a platform not for his shoddy reporting and tired bigotry, but for the audience he's amassed, even if it's a digital lynch mob. Oh, that's good. Arun Gupta wrote that article. That was good. I need some coffee. I need a little bit of coffee. Wait, I really can't. I need to catch up with you guys. So I'm going to do that before I go on to the next. Did you see my back and forth with Ben? No, you did? Oh my God. Okay, I'm going to go look at him. I can't stand Sun Tzu or whatever his name is. Ben Moore. He's such a fucking dick. It's always the same people doing the same whiny bullshit. That's exactly right. Morning. Hello, Bobo and friends. Hope y'all got a chance to read the wiki article as a refresher yesterday. Wait, what? I don't know. What wiki article? January 2nd is Tish's trial date. My God, this is so dumb. That was 2019, Meowing Star. That was 2019. Yeah, exactly. Now they've gone to Ellison. Now it's Larry Ellison, right? I don't know. I'm telling you, these people. Okay, let's read what Jim has to say about Antifa. Do 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 do. Okay. I broke down. This is from just a couple weeks ago when they had the Antifa roundtable. Remember that? And Andy No was at that at the White House. Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was. I have been watching Australia's lawsuits on YouTube at night that often against fake news media that misspoke. It's so satisfying to watch them squirm with facts. God, I would love to see something like that happen here. I would love to see something like that happen here. Really. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I want to read it. All right. So what Jim says is I broke down the Antifa roundtable, which amounted to an immersive horror experience to entertain one person, Donald Dump. All dictators need conspiracy theories and invisible enemies. If this one takes hold, the results will be no different. This is going to be bad. This is going to be bad. Oh wait. Oh good. Oh you sent it. Oh my god, I love you. I love you. Oh my god. Okay, wait. I'm going to read this first. Hold on. This is an exchange. So, one of the things uh one of the things about us is yeah, don't worry. I won't do anything. Okay, I can't. Hi, Mr. Spock. I have been. Oh wait, I'm catching up. Okay, all right. Okay, so one of the things. Oh, this one. Okay. One of the things. Gal is this very. Gal. Gal. Now, Gal seems to attract a lot of. How do I say this? Um, obsessed right wing idiots. Now, it's not because she's putting out anything that attracts them. They just find her. Okay. So she found one, and he works. Well, I think he does work for Mike Flynn, right? Doesn't he work for Mike Flynn? I think he works for Mike Flynn, and his name is Ben Moore, but he goes by and he calls himself that. I'm not doxing him. Yeah, mediocre white boys. Him and his brother are both on Twitter and both like rabid Michael Flynn fans, and yet are very obsessed with Jim and very obsessed with Gal. And so these two guys, who brothers, um, often exchange, and DM with with Gal. They both love you. Yeah. And it's like, thank you, sir. May I have another? Like that kind of. Like, he does work for Flynn, right? Works for like one of those. So, anyway, so, oh wait, this one. Oh wait. So wait, do I read the first one, the big long one, and then that one? Wait, let me see. I want to make sure I don't like. Okay, so Ben says to Gal, wait, I have to put my glasses on. What the fuck do you believe? What the fuck do you believe? Oh my god, stop texting me. What the fuck do you believe? I mean, you have a good heart, but I'm just confused at what you want ultimately. What do you want this country to be? I mean, I'm a lawyer and I look at the facts. This is hilarious. Speechless you are, because I guess you didn't respond right away. And then you responded. I believe in the promise of America, that this is a country where anyone can live out their dreams if they work hard and follow the laws. I believe that you should treat others how you want to be treated, that you sacrifice for others when they need you, and that you are able to. I also believe that it's okay to disagree with people without a roaring hatred in your soul or forcing people into one side or another. For this country, I want fiscally responsible elected officials who I shouldn't have to know so much about, who aren't trying to be celebrities. I want secure borders with opportunities for people fleeing death and danger to take refuge here. I want to see money out of politics. I don't believe that corporations are people. I want presidents who are strong, confident, and trustworthy, who have empathy for all Americans, even the ones who didn't vote for them. Frankly, I'd love to see a woman president in this country. It's not a feminist type position, so calm your tits. It's about the way of women and mothers. Women have good instincts. I want domestic insecurity to be addressed, disinformation and influence operations banned, propaganda to be penalized. I want better for all people, and I want a leader that represents that ideal. I could go on, but you're going to end up being distracted by one word in this response, so I'll leave it there. You shouldn't ask. Um, he's his response to all of that. His response to all of that is, I don't know why you're a leftist though. Silence. And she says, I don't identify as leftist. You're placing me there. How do you identify? I mean, you're like a big Jim Stewartson supporter. And she says, as an American, yeah, but you support Jim. He's an avid leftist. Jim is an American as well. Silence. Good night, Ben. Good chat. I just don't. I think this has to be like an act. Like, I've heard you guys have significant conversations with Ben on spaces. He is obsessed with Jim, first of all, so, and obsessed with Gal. But you've had reasonable conversations with him. Like, I don't understand how he is so fucking dense or is so good at just like acting that he's stupid, because this has been going on for a couple of years now. Like, this isn't just, you didn't just meet. So it's so interesting to me, like this complete, like, I'm so entrenched. I'm so entrenched in my in my position that I can't, and I can tell he's like that person. He wants to reach out. He wants to actually, I think, be better. But he can't let go of this like hate trap that he's in. He's like in a hate trap. Yeah, they can't handle their feelings. And they love to play stupid. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Meowing Star. They love to play stupid. It's so stupid. Yeah, he's a total groupie. He hates me because I tell him about child trafficking, and I'm like, I know about child trafficking, okay? I worked in anti trafficking. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. He's obsessed with like saving children, and I know his type. They're usually the ones I look out for and I'm scared of. Yeah. So I don't know. Sick. He's sick. He's sick. He's sick. I see what you say, that an act, because it's very cartoon. It is very cartoonish. It's like, stop it. Stop being so disingenuous. Yeah, left bad, right good. Yeah, it's just like, it's so old. It's so dumb. I don't know. It's really stupid. But let's read something not stupid. I want to read Jim and the Antifa. This is interesting because Miller. So this is from October 9th, the Antifa Roundtable. There they are. This is, what is that? Is that Nick Sorter, I think? I don't know what she is. That's this is Nick Sorter. I think that's Cam Higbee. And this is Nick Sorter. There's Jack Pussy Bitch. I think that's Andy, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. But you saw them all. At 10 years old, wait, first I'm going to take a drink of coffee. Mm, 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 mm. Wait, I just learned Epstein had a property at an expensive private art school. Yeah, no, he worked at a school in Manhattan. Yeah, he worked at a school. And I don't know if that's the same private art school, but I think it might have been. That was probably, I think that was where he kind of like, I don't know. I have to go through the whole timeline. I can't remember exactly. I only try and prove their stupid theories wrong by showing them how much I actually don't hate America. It spins them into pretzels. I know your responses have always been like really like, well, this is that and this is those and you know, like very straightforward. It's so stupid. They're so incredibly dumb. It's what a paid opinion sounds like to me. Yeah. How does YouTube keep going back to the at thing? I know. I'm not sure why, Max. Yeah, I know. I know. At 10 years old, I begged my mother to take me to see Alien. I remember clearly the exact moment the chest burster emerged and I ran for the exit of the theater, which I immediately regretted. From then on, I took a high interest in movies that truly scared me. It's not that I'm so much of a horror fan, but I found it to be a useful tool for facing and conquering my own fears. I built a career on creating immersive experiences for other people, virtual reality, augmented reality, alternate reality games, but I'm also an aficionado of the genre. About 15 years ago, I became interested in immersive horror experiences. I have done dozens of these, from high production value haunted houses to gritty physical experiences like Blackout. The one event I will never forget was called the Victim Experience, which sought to give you a realistic depiction of violent crime. Trust me, it delivered. And that's what it is. Oh my God. The Victim Experience by Freakling Brothers is the most realistic, traumatic, and horrifying test of psychological fortitude currently being offered in the US. You're not the voyeur, you're the victim. The show simulated death in very realistic and visceral manners. Oh my God. Oh, here we go. Karen says the private art school he was a benefactor of and is where the Farmer sisters introduced to Epstein. Yeah, but didn't he work at the school? Didn't he actually work at the school? I know. I don't know why, gal. They just can't catch you in anything. They have the stupidest arguments. Okay, I won't go into the details, but the description vastly undersells it. Basically, after the regular hours of a Halloween haunted house in Las Vegas, the crew of 25 people who serve thousands every night would all focus on just one person at a time. They gave you a safe word and made you sign a stack of agreements promising not to sue them when it was over. I made it almost all the way through to the end, but tapped out the second time they tried to drown me in a trash can. Oh, the safe word, as I will never forget, was Albuquerque. The Antifa Experience. In the White House on Wednesday, it was a couple weeks ago, Stephen Miller created a parallel immersive horror experience for one person, Donald Trump. It was officially called the Antifa Roundtable and involved a dozen or so far right provocateurs and prominent members of Trump's cabinet constructing a vivid, frightening tale of a massive terrorist conspiracy aligned against his regime. As someone who has both built and experienced this kind of theater, it was shoddy craftsmanship by all concerned, bad writing, bad acting, and bad directing. But none of that matters if you know your audience well enough. Let's just see what this.
Other people on the
Oh, this is everything.
potential
But we'll just
peace
listen to the
deal
first
for the
part.
Middle East. Peace for the Middle East. It's a beautiful phrase, and we hope it's going to come true, but it's very close. And they're doing very well. We have a great team over there, great negotiators, and there are unfortunately great negotiators on the other side also.
Really?
But
The
it's
same
something I
art
think that
school
will
from
happen.
Madonna's?
Got a good chance of
Oh my
happening.
God, really?
I may go there
Yes,
sometime
Bill
toward
Barr's
the end
dad
of the
is
week,
headmaster, James.
maybe on
Oh,
Sunday,
he worked at
actually.
Dalton Private School,
And
not art
we'll
school. Okay.
see, but there's a very good chance negotiations are going along very well. We're dealing with Hamas.
Okay,
and
we already
many,
know. We already know.
Coming
Oh
up
wait,
with
what's
some
this?
past
I
the
get.
courts.
Did Jim
Journalists that
make these
report in their
marks?
took the freedom of speech away because that's been through the courts, and the court said you have freedom of speech. But what has happened is when they burn a flag, it agitates and irritates crowds. They've never seen anything like it on both sides, and you end up with riots. So we're going on that basis. We're looking at it not from the freedom of speech, which I always felt strongly about, but never passed the courts. This is what they do: is they incite. When you burn an American flag, you incite tremendous violence. Christine.
Well, thank you, Mr. President, and thank you for hosting today and focusing on Antifa and the terrorists that they are. Let's not make any mistake. These individuals do not just want to threaten our law enforcement officers, threaten our journalists, and the citizens of this country. They want to kill them. Their agenda is to destroy the American people and our way of life, and this president is standing in their way.
You want to know what's
He
interesting?
is stopping them from bringing.
You want to know what's interesting? I want my way of. I actually want to improve my way of life because I stay inside too much and I'm scared to go outside. So I want to improve my life. I love anywhere I live, first of all, and I'm not into like countries and stuff like that. I believe that we should have a decent set of social agreements that allow us to treat each other kindly and we protect each other, because we have shared accountability for that. And that's what I want. That's all I want. And I want to support. I like, you know, um, process. I like process. I like planning. I like thoughtful leadership. I like servant leaders. I love servant leaders. I was always striving to be a servant leader. Like, what did that mean? And how could I embody that? And, you know, and I'm sure I didn't hit the mark plenty of times, but that's what I want. That's all I want. I don't even want there to be censorship, right? I don't think censorship works per se. I mean, some cases, obviously. But for this type of stuff where it's like, we hate leftists and da 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 da, I'm okay with them being able to say it. But there was a time in the past when I could hear something on TV and realize it was probably mostly factually based or it was someone's opinion. And we've lost that. Now your opinion becomes fact. And that, I think, is really, I want labels. I want media literacy. That's why I push for media literacy. That is why I'm here, is because I want people to consume media with the knowledge of what is factual and what is feelings. And that's all I want. Maxwell was at our city's local festival in 17. My therapist works with trafficking as one of her specialties. And yeah, this area is much darker than locals are aware of. Yeah. This area has deep wealth and lots of skeletons. That's interesting, Meowing Star. That's in the, yeah. That's so interesting. I'm still trying to find that imaginary Antifa co-founder girlfriend Noam talked about. Well,
their death and there's destruction to the individual citizens in this country that just want to raise their kids and their grandkids in peace and in safety.
I don't think Antifa's doing anything to anybody. What are they doing?
I want to also thank everyone around this table for being so bold and so brave, for standing up and recognizing the threat that Antifa is to our way of life.
I mean, it's not funny because she's serious. Oops. Oh, Crash Patel.
Everywhere, not just outside of this country, but within this country. And that takes a whole of government approach. The interagency seated up here with the Department of Homeland Security, our Attorney General, our Deputy Attorney General, and your White House staffers, including Stephen Miller's leadership, has allowed us to go out.
Why does he talk so fast? Why does he always seem like he's racing to get words out? Do you guys notice that? Like, he literally is always like going a mile a minute, like, I gotta spit all this out. I don't understand it.
There and map out these networks. What we are doing at the FBI is simple. It does not require rocket science. We are following the money. Money never lies. And that's what it's going to take to bring down this network of organized criminal thugs, gangbangers, and yes, domestic terrorists, because that's what they are. They are harming everyday citizens.
Reporters, do you want to start?
This guy's a fucking dick. Okay.
President Trump.
Let me just tell you this guy. That's Nick Sorter. He's been on the ground in Portland. This guy's the biggest pussy in the whole fucking world. He fucking runs to cops at well, first of all of them do. But he runs to cops at the littlest thing. And yet he's in there provoking and picking and poking and pinching and pinching and pinching and pinching until someone's going to turn around and punch him in the motherfucking face. And frankly, with the Habsburg chin that he has, I wish they would do it sooner rather than later. He is such a whiny motherfucking baby. So let's listen to him in his fucking clown suit.
Members of the cabinet, really appreciate you guys bringing this together. And the fact that we are here today on such short notice shows how serious you guys are taking this issue of trans terrorists and frankly, the cities and police departments that are cooperating with Antifa, such as Portland. I mean, the Portland politicians are literally willing to sacrifice their own citizens just to appease these Antifa terrorists.
He's the only terrorist. Nick Sorter is a terrorist. Nick Sorter is down there every night. I know because I watch him. He's down there every night, pushing, provoking, saying shitty things, yelling trans slurs. All of them are. They are asking to be punched. And frankly, I don't care if they're punched because they're asking for it. If Nick Sorter doesn't want to be punched, he should go home or shut the fuck up and film, because they're not doing what they're saying. What they're saying is, oh, we're just recording. We're just recording. Bullshit. You're walking up to people and calling them names and hoping that they're going to punch you in the face, because then you'll make Daddy Dump happy, because then he can he can announce the Insurrection Act and shut down all protests against his regime. So you, my friend, Nick Sorter, are a fucking little Nazi who's sucking the dick of a bigger Nazi, but not even the main Nazi, because you don't even know who the main Nazi is. Because you're so fucking stupid. You're a tool. You're a tool.
Sickening. I've seen it firsthand, obviously. When I went to jail that night, never expected it to happen. I thought that they were maybe removing me for my own safety. It never crossed my mind that I was the one that was being arrested for a crime after I was just thrown into a hole.
It's because he was, I can't remember his exact incident, but I think he, I don't know if he got pushed or something. But I'm going to tell you right now, Nick Sorter has been in the face of every person down there who are just protesting ICE. The people who are down there protesting are only walking up to these guys in the extreme cases of when they're yelling at them. Otherwise, they're down there at the ICE facility focused on their task. But these folks walk around them and yell things at them and provoke them until it gets violent. And that is their job. This actually should be the roundtable of the agitators. This is an agitator roundtable. And they're making bank, SB. They're making bank. I'm watching them on their streams. They are raking it the fuck in. Never mind who else is paying them. They are raking it the motherfuck in.
I heard from the Department of Homeland Security after I had gotten out of jail, and one of your, I won't say exactly who it was, but somebody very close to Secretary Noem over here said that they were legitimately worried for my safety in the Portland jail. But luckily the Portland jail was, I was the only one there, essentially, because they don't actually arrest people in Portland, besides conservative journalists, I guess. So
He's not a journalist. Okay, I'm not going to watch any more of that. Let's keep reading. Anyway, you get the point. They're a bunch of whiny babies, and they're getting paid. I need to learn more about this. Will you post something in the cord? And that is, yeah. I posted a link to Interlocken's statement. I only learned yesterday myself from my therapist. Oh, okay. Let me take a look at that. I've had several friends who've told me about their experience of being targets of racism, both from students and faculty at Interlocken. Oh, that's interesting. I think I've heard of that. I thought it was just a camp, but now I looked, it's an academy as well. A few friends from high school attended in the 80s. As someone who has both built and experienced this kind of theater, it was shoddy craftsmanship by all concerned. Bad writing, bad acting, bad directing, but none of that matters if you know your audience well enough. The target demographic was one person, Donald Dump. There can be no doubt who the director of the Antifa Experience was, Stephen Miller, who vowed to go after the radical left terrorist network that he blamed for Charlie Kirk's murder. At the round table, Miller, usually not the shy one in the crowd, said nothing. He had already written the script, and he was just there to watch the actors play it out. The basic plot of the Antifa Experience is very old school. Antifa is a vast, invisible terrorist network that wants to take down the Dump regime through violence. MAGA is the only thing that can stop it. According to the official White House reality, Antifa is not a loose ideology. It is a coherent militant network. Not a decentralized protest umbrella, but a terror organization with hierarchy, cells, funding, foreign ties, and operational unity. The network has command, funding, safe houses, shift changes, and international co-conspirators. Antifa is heavily coordinated, professional, and invisible. Antifa signs are used across cities, identical expensive posters, and coordinated operations. Antifa militants travel between cities, busing, infiltration, and operate in sync. Antifa attacks in symbolic ways and provokes escalation, burning flags to incite riots, targeting ICE agents, staging violent confrontations, doxing, using sniper tactics. Antifa is not just protesters, but armed militants whose aim is political violence, suppression, and terror. Antifa is enabled by complicit local officials and media. Mayors and governors are covering it up, refusing to enforce law, even cheering rioters. Media is lying, aiding Antifa by calling them activists or protesters, or by deleting footage, censorship. The narrative includes usage of judicial decisions and freedom of speech loopholes to restrain prosecutions. The organization is deep. There is a funding network, Riot Inc., involving Open Society, Arabella, Tides, foreign money, taxpayers laundering into mutual aid and radical groups. By going after funders and money flows, the entire structure can be dismantled from top to bottom. Trump is the singular hero and executor. Executor, I guess. All the narrative nodes, funders, safe houses, militant cells, media complicity, funnel into the need for executive action, investigation, prosecutions, foreign terrorist organization designations, app takedowns, federal law enforcement surges. The influencers are eyewitnesses, evidence bringers. They give Trump the proof needed to validate his worldview and authorize escalation. Note, none of this is true. The characters are the Antifa hunters. The actors Stephen Miller brought in to perform the Antifa Experience for Trump are a collection of white nationalist provocateurs whose jobs are to create propaganda. Jack Pussy Bitch, anti-Antifa veteran, neo-Nazi Jack Posobiec, one of the most prolific MAGA propagandists of the last decade, was first up to summarize the dangers of Antifa in the White House, which he compared to anti-fascist activists in Weimar Germany, literally taking the side of the Nazis. Antifa is real. Antifa has been around in various iterations for almost 100 years, and some instances going back to the Weimar Republic in Germany. And it's now been just under 1 month since we saw a far leftist murder, Charlie Kirk, and we saw thousands upon thousands of people, other far leftists and people in positions of authority. People like nurses and pilots and doctors and HR departments celebrating the death, those HR departments, celebrating the death and murder of Charlie Kirk. Charlie who? I don't know him. Here we go.
Jack, please say a few words.
Mr. President, thank you so much for having us here today and holding this roundtable. Antifa is real. Antifa has been around in various iterations for almost 100 years in some instances, going back to the Weimar Republic in Germany. And it's now been just under 1 month since we saw a far leftist murder Charlie Kirk, and we saw thousands upon thousands of people, other far leftists and people in positions of authority, people like nurses and pilots and doctors and HR departments celebrating the death and the murder of Charlie Kirk. This sickness that's out there is absolutely real. And Mr. President, thank you for mentioning the fact that one of the bullet casings read, "Hey fascist, catch" on it.
Hey Chan. Hey, Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao. I am Antifa. All right. Jack Pussy Bitch doesn't mention that all members of Antifascistische Aktion, which was nicknamed Antifa, were rounded up and sent to Dachau concentration camp in 1933. Fascist propagandist Andy Ngo is one of the primary sources of the Antifa Experience official canon. An incident of a protester throwing a milkshake at him in 2019 has been milked for all it's worth. Oh, there he is. Coconut milkshake and silly string, yeah. Ngo describes multiple ambushes, a brain hemorrhage, being chased and attacked. He frames Antifa as a personal violent enemy, supplying vivid trauma stories. All of it is deliberately manufactured. Ngo currently runs the right-wing propaganda website, The Post Millennial. Nick Sorter, this is my little fucking pet project right now. I fucking hate this little soft-chinned bitch. Nick Sorter is a prolific Twitter poster and provocateur who travels to conflict zones like peaceful Portland to piss off local residents and then record it as evidence of his victimhood. He is the ultimate victim. He recounted being assaulted for protecting an American flag, presenting the ARC, flag burning, mob reaction, violence. Based on this incident, which is true, one of the anti-ICE protesters was burning an American flag, which is, regardless of what the president says he wants to happen, you can burn an American flag. It is protected speech. Sorry, not sorry. But this guy got in the middle of someone burning a flag that was not in the middle of the maggots at that point. There was no maggots really. I mean, they were around, but they weren't. He wasn't. He wasn't burning the flag right in their faces, kind of like, "Oh, fuck you." He was burning the flag because that's part of a protest message. And this douche whistle decided to try and save the flag. He tried to save the flag. He went up and saved the flag. And of course, people got mad at him because he accosted the guy that was trying to burn the flag, an older gentleman. Based on this incident, Dump posted on Truth that flag burning, which is protected by the Supreme Court, will now come with a 1-year prison sentence. As a reminder, only Congress can make laws and define crime. Well, that's a problem because we think that, well, never mind. Katie Davis Court, undercover infiltrator. Katie is a low-level right-wing operative who has worked for alt-right outlets like Rebel News and Andy Knows Post Millennial. She showed up at the White House with an obviously painted-on black eye. Oh, I didn't notice that. She didn't do a very good job then, because I didn't even notice. Davis Court claims she infiltrated Antifa cells, discovered a safe house with shift changes, mutual aid funding, and direct inside intelligence. I'm going to tell you right now, this bitch didn't go anywhere near an Antifa whatever. She is a big fucking liar. And no. All nonsense. Brandy Cruz, testimonial booster and a moral witness. Brandy Cruz is a former TV reporter, now a podcaster, who claims to have had Trump derangement syndrome before suddenly seeing the light. Oh my God. Cruz framed herself and others as long-suffering and offered gratitude to Dump and claimed they've been ignored for years. She provided amplification and moral validation, making Trump feel responsible and empowered. Julio Rosas, an ideology interpreter and global linker. Julio Rosas is a far-right provocateur and author of Fiery but Mostly Peaceful. He was invited as a congressional witness for Mostly Peaceful, Countering Left-Wing Organized Violence. With no evidence, Rosas compared Antifa to ISIS and MS-13 and framed their ideology as existentially dangerous to the Republic. James Klube is a YouTuber who does confrontational interviews for a living. American Slam Biden's presidency. Oh, for Newsmax. Oops. Oh, that's just a picture. Sorry. Klug asserted false claims like Antifa being responsible for billions in damage, thousands of injured officers, and claimed media avoids the violent truth. Then there's good old Nick Shirley, who's trying real hard to be the next Charlie Kirk, let me tell you. And he looks like Charlie Kirk, which is the good news. Nick Shirley is a few years out of high school and, like many of the others, goes to locations requiring propaganda and manufactures the evidence that he needs. Shirley claimed that he saw identical signs in multiple cities, saw busing, even a DHS sniper laser pointer. He built the network effect illusion, claiming it showed it isn't just random protests, but a coordinated operation. Savannah Hernandez, media persecution narrator. Savannah Hernandez is a provocateur and an employee of Charlie Kirk's fascist youth organization, Turning Point USA. She sure is. Hernandez framed media as the enabler partner of the conspiracy, deleting footage, labeling them Nazis, and cited her multiple bans as censorship. She bridges narrative, showing the media is complicit in hiding the conspiracy and prevents counter-narratives. Seamus Bruner, Clinton Cash, fund flow architect. Seamus Bruner is a longtime conspiracy theorist and propagandist with a specialty in making up financial connections that don't exist. Who are the armed queers of Salt Lake City? What in the hell? Lindell TV. Lindell TV, baby. Bruner presented the Riot Inc. scheme, naming Arabella, Soros, Tides Foundation, foreign money, $100+ million flows, including uses of taxpayer dollars. He provided the financial backbone of the conspiracy. The money trail is always compelling. Jonathan Cho, infrastructure and front org linker. Jonathan Cho is another former reporter who was fired for his coverage of the Seattle protests in 2020. He now works at the right-wing Discovery Institute to fix homelessness. Cho claimed Antifa is embedded in homeless nonprofit sectors, DSA, and Stop the Sweeps. He built a narrative of legitimacy laundering through radical groups hiding in community institutions. They're trying to get rid of all goodwill for people. Trump's cabinet, AG Pamela Joe, DHS Director Crispy Nome, and FBI Director Crash Patel all mirrored the false testimony of the Antifa hunters, offering nothing but slabs of rhetoric designed to prop up the invisible enemy within. As an example of the depth of knowledge of Trump's senior-most officials, Trump was asked by a reporter whether he intends to suspend habeas corpus, one of the most fundamental rights of any American citizen, to deal with these insurrectionists and also to rapidly deport illegal aliens. Dump appeared to have no idea what it meant and handed it off to Crispy Nome, who seemed just as confused by the term. Who? He asked who? When they said habeas corpus, he said, who? Suspend who? Whether Crispy Nome or Donald Dump actually knows what habeas corpus means is really immaterial. Stephen Miller most certainly does. Miller knows legalisms and pesky issues like the Constitution are uninteresting to his boss, so he breaks things down into pieces that Dump can understand. For example, Dump knows there are people that don't like him and say mean things about him. Therefore, Dump believes that they should be silenced. That's what the Antifa experience was really all about, giving him a reason to take away American freedoms. Asked by a reporter about flag burning, Trump went ahead and said it out loud. We took the freedom of speech away because that's been through the courts. What? We've seen this dynamic of delusion before. In Hitler's final weeks in the Führer bunker, he and his advisors held seance-like meetings where an alternate reality of the war was presented and acted out, complete with maps and phantom troop movements. In the stillness of the bunker, we strengthen the Führer's spirit. Faith must create reality. Goebbels. Faith must create reality is the process operating in the White House right now. The fantasy world being created for Dump is the world he uses for his executive decisions, which affect real people. He spoke to the maps as though commanding invisible divisions. We had become participants in a seance of self-deception. Heinz Linge, Hitler's valet, with Hitler to the End, written in 1980. The Antifa are the invisible divisions Trump is fighting against. The Antifa Experience, directed by Stephen Miller in the White House, is the seance of self-deception. The seal must be broken. The immersive reality performance presented by the bottom-tier propagandists in the White House on Wednesday of a massive conspiracy of Antifa that must be defeated using the full power of the U.S. federal government was designed to provide the evidence to back up Miller's plan to create a one-party dictatorship. All dictators need an invisible enemy. Conspiracy theories are universal in authoritarian regimes. The chief conspiracy theory of the Nazis was a Jewish communist plot to take over Germany, portrayed as a crucial step in taking over the world. This dot connecting was not just a lie, it was the exact deception that led to the slaughter of both communists and Jews. The difference between the Nazis' obsession with a Bolshevik plot and Miller's obsession with an Antifa terrorist network is merely superficial. If America allows this poisonous lie to sink in, the results will be no different. The ideal subject of totalitarian rule is not the convinced Nazi or the convinced communist, but people for whom the distinction between fact and fiction no longer exists. Hannah Arendt, The Origins of Totalitarianism in 1951. That was a really good piece. I really love that. I love that Jim broke down who kind of represents, who is playing what role. Yeah, coconut equals concrete? No. That didn't look like it had concrete in it. And apparently people were drinking the thing. Shoot, who ran into a flagpole? Just talking with me in person about their experiences. The people telling me about the racism were students of color, but I don't think they ever got anything published. I know that would be really interesting. But they are also being written in tribunals. Pritzker's thing yesterday. Oh. Interlochen statement. Okay, good. I want to learn about that. I'll go to the Discord after this. Tish is about to speak. Okay, thank you. Wow. Let's find Tish James. Yeah. Where is it? Here we go. Oh, did she? She did already. Okay, hold on. Oops. Never mind. Wrong one. Oops, wrong one again. I'll find it. It just ended a few seconds ago, so. Let me find where she's speaking. Let me find where she's speaking. They're running. Running, 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 running. Running, 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 running. They're running. They're running. Oh, that's her assistant. I love her. She's so beautiful. She's such a beautiful woman. Is my... Oh, I might... Now, she should run for governor. That's who should run for governor. Or mayor of New York City.
I want to thank all of you. I want to thank all of you. I want to thank each and every one of you. I want to thank you for your prayers. I want to thank you for your emails. I want to thank you for your support. It has strengthened my spirit and it has anchored my soul. And so I want to thank you. But this is not about me. This is about all of us. And about a justice system which has been weaponized.
It's mostly supportive. It's one or two hecklers.
This justice system which has been used as a tool of revenge. And a weapon against those individuals who simply did their job and who stood up for the rule of law. And a justice system which unfortunately is nothing being used as a vehicle of retribution. But my faith is strong. And my faith is, I have this belief in the justice system, in the rule of law, and I have a belief in America and all of its individuals who have stood with me, not only in New York, but all across this nation. I've heard from just about every jurisdiction in this nation.
Mom Donnie is going to win.
Who have said stand up and
Let's turn this tide. Let's make it a more perfect union for the first fucking time in 250 years.
Or back down. Or break or bend. So there's no fear today. No fear. No fear. No fear. No fear. Because I believe that justice will rain down like water and righteousness like a mighty stream. Preach. And I'm here to say that my work and my job and all that I do, all throughout my public career, I've stood up for the rights of New Yorkers and Americans, and I will not be deterred. And I will not be deterred.
Shut up, guy. Whoever's yelling.
I will not be distracted. I will do my job. to be done, standing up for the rule of law. God bless you and thank you all, and I appreciate you.
I love her. Sorry, she's a good person. She's a good human being. God bless her. God bless her. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. I just adore her. I'm really sorry that this country is so goddamn stupid. Yeah, short and sweet and to the point. Well, I think I'm going to leave you for this mini Friday. But we have trivia tonight. Waiting for tonight. Oh, ooh, waiting for tonight. I'm really excited about tonight. We're just going to have a lot of fun, and we're going to end the week on hopefully a high. And hopefully we'll all be high in our own regard. Whatever gets you high, I hope you are able to indulge today. And I hope I see you tonight in the trivia trenches. Get in those trivia trenches, kids. You know you wanna. Yeah. Oh, Smell, I love you. You may make it. I hope you do. Do you guys want me to? I don't really want to change the time of trivia on Fridays, although I could probably make it a half hour earlier. Oh, have fun. Oh my God, happy birthday. Happy birthdays to you, Jane, and to Mama. Oh, have fun. Anastasia, that's going to be great. That's a great musical. Nobody loses at spaced out trivia. That's right. Even the losers are winners. Yes, earlier. I was thinking about doing 6 p.m., which would be 9 p.m. Eastern. I don't want to cut into the 5/8 too much, which is why I space it. But I would be willing, but I wanted to make sure everybody's okay with a chime. I'm not going to do it tonight, but for going forward, we could do a time change to Fridays at 6 p.m., 9 p.m. Eastern, if that is helpful. It's a bit early. Mine's in November. Oh, well, who cares? Happy birthday. 6 is good. Yeah, I think it's probably better for like people, especially on the East Coast. But let me know what you think. We'll give it a week, and right now we'll start at 6:30 just to kind of keep it, expect what is expected. But we can have another conversation tonight and just see if people are okay with moving it to 6, moving it up a half hour. Yeah, I know it's hard for people, especially on the East Coast, to kind of like, ugh, ugh. But hopefully we'll get to a place. 5/8 usually ends about 9:30, which is when trivia begins. Seems to work, but it's not my call. Yeah, no, I know, and that's really why I do it, is because I don't want to cut into 5/8 at all. Yeah, so I don't know. We'll think about it. We can talk about it tonight too. So, but I know for people like Jade and stuff, it would be easier if it was just a little bit earlier in the night. We'll get there. We'll figure it out, because that's what we do. We figure things out. Well, thank you for coming today. And I don't have early nights on the weekend. What does that mean? It's Friday. I don't know what that means. You mean you don't go to bed early? Yeah. Oh, that's true. Yeah. Well, that was kind of the intention of having it on the weekend, but the beginning is chatting, so no one misses actual trivia. That's true. That's true. That's true. Happy birthday, Jane and Mom. Um, Meaning I'm up late. Yes, me too. Yes, have a wonderful Friday, everyone. Gal, thank you for all the wonderful links. Thank you for and Jim and Jay Rance for the great space last night. I think we need to do that more often. I don't want to put any pressure on any of us, but I think we need to do that more often. I think it's a really good thing to do, just like talk to each other and laugh and stuff like that. I learn a lot. I'll tell y'all on my actual day to hear it again. Fuck yeah, you will. As I'll sing you a big old happy birthday then. I'll do it the right way. So now you have to come back. Anyway, I love you guys. Have such a great Friday. And thanks for spending some time with me this morning. And I will hopefully see you tonight for Spaced Out Trivia. All right. See you later. Bye for now.